Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL One Battlefield 4 Winter Cup #1. My name is Mitchell Leslie. I'm here with Alex Machine Richardson. Hey. And that was a long first game of the night. Definitely was hype. Some big plays there as well, but we're getting geared up for #2 now.
Yeah, we're going to be kind of following suit, I think, with a similarly exciting game. I think more so we've got our eyes on 1337. Elite are a team that I want to see how far they can go in this one. You know, we were so excited just to see them beat Infamous, a big statement in itself going in. And that was just the first round of this tournament. We've got a whole lot more Battlefield to come, and this is the start of it.
That's exactly right. So basically, it's going to be Elite going up against Evolution Gamers. Yeah. Slightly different to the Evolution Gamers that we actually saw towards the end of last season, the one that featured Benny, Gino, Jera, Hunter. It's actually a mix of ex-SK and LDLC players. So you've got Melisium in there as well from SK Gaming. Frod is in there as well. Rella coming over from Infamous. Ronnie is in the mix as well. So that's you know, a couple of new players we haven't seen much of at all. A couple sort of old hands. I remember Frod from our spring finals. I think he was here representing for SK along with Hexus as well. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, so old names.
That's going back a little bit now as well. So this one here, it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to be kicking things off in just a moment. Now the only issue is that only 4 players for EGZ.
Yep, and we've been waiting an awful long time. You guys have been waiting an awful long time as well. And so the decision been made by the admins is he's not been here. We've given him time to come back. We are going to be going into a 5 versus 4. Not ideal for anyone, both us here in the studio, for the teams playing, but it's a scenario we're going to have to deal with and operate around. As I think it might be very well be time to jump on in with the action. Yep,
countdown has been started. So our first map is going to be Siege of Shanghai. First time seeing that one tonight, but we've definitely seen plenty of it in our last season of Cups. So it's good to see its glorious return back to ESL One. Starting on the blue side is going to be EGZ, and on the red is going to be Elite. And of course, as you see, David, Enter Q, Zam, Fearless, and Smash You. And for EGZ, it's Frod, Ronnie, Rella, Melisium, and they are missing their 5th, which is, of course, unfortunate, but that is the way, as they say. The cookie crumbles. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can play around this one a little bit more now as well. And we'll just get some game sound in there for you guys. There it is. Melisium popping a few shots over. We often see the bomb left untouched for quite some time here. A lot of teams don't opt to go for it in those early stages. They'd like to push up as well. This C side is going to be definitely a hot spot of consternation with both teams contesting around this one. They're trying to make their way up and get those plants down. You can see Frod pushing quite a long way forward here. EGZ actually with the player disadvantage, but so far it doesn't seem to have hurt them too much here. They're Frod with 4 kills already as he's pushing forward. His return to BF4 in this team, definitely so far so good.
It would be insane to see a team with 4 manage to kind of pick up some degree of victory. That in itself would be madness and a huge kind of a problem for the Elite guys. As when we say Melisium then crawl around, it's like there's no doubt these players are capable. I say that Melisium actually does fluff his shot that's there, doesn't make up for it as he finds Smash, who has quite kindly given us his proper name back.
Yes, he has. David is the only man on the side of Elite with a kill here. And from what I can see, it wasn't actually to the detriment of his opponent. So I'm trying to figure out how he's actually got that 1 kill there. But Frod does finally go down. 5 kills for Nuts. It's just a huge start from him. Obviously, with less players, there are going to be more enemies to shoot. But still, it's been a very, very good start for EGZ. They had to play this one slow here. Rella does have the bomb in hand and will eventually make his way up. But over in this shopping complex, does seem to be where Elite is setting up.
So, as they do begin to set up, I think numbers is going to be the primary focus here. Of course, that is the advantage that they do possess. You know, everything aside, it does come down to just positioning that extra player and these members of the team around the site they choose to defend. Still no bomb plant going down as of yet, as it does look like Smash You is going on a wild chase all the way towards that B site.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's a squad wipe coming out there for EGC. All of them getting cut down, and Frod's best efforts in the earlier part of this game now may not be amounting to all that much in the end here. But it's a good kill from Rella on towards David. He's going to move up, get a bit of heal on him, but the bomb is going to be planted here by Smash You. And once you have control of this area, it can be very, very hard to have control wrested away from you. But still, Zam actually is the last man in the squad, so he's just going to leave that bomb for dead and have that one defuse there. And honestly, like for 5 players, really aren't pressing that advantage too much.
Not just yet, that's for certain. The fact that they did manage to get away with that defuse is something in itself. I mean, the frags came in. These guys definitely got the fragging capacity. I say these guys. Look at Frod already. 7 frags. We're only about 3 minutes into this one. He's already dropping bodies. Smasher, in the meantime, was the man to get the bomb down. Felt like he was kind of left to his own devices somewhat with that initial bomb assault.
Frod with the bomb here, pushing out of his part of the map at least.
I always feel like you would never want to put your main fragger with the bomb. Like, I feel like that's just such a, like, this guy can hit shots left and right. I don't know whether you want the enemy knowing exactly where he's coming from. Yeah,
and on top of that as well, you've got so many more things that you're having to think about as well. You can't just focus on being that fragger. Your mental bandwidth is actually being taxed quite heavily by the fact that you have the bomb. You know, you can't sort of make shots from angles as well. Like, a lot of the top fraggers are the guys who like to lurk or like to come from the flank and you know, just come from unexpected angles here. But in this case, you can see at least he's still repping the SK logo on his gun. In this case, you know, Frod has to kind of go forward on that one there. He does get taken down. 8 and 3 though. It's just been a huge effort from him so far. Safe. Okay, Safe is actually not playing. I think this is a 4v4, and Safe has opted not to spawn in on the map to make it fair.
How did it take us that long to notice? Yep. You're right. Gosh, he has not. Yeah, 0-0.
I love that guy, seriously.
That is a lot of respect.
Such a sick bloke.
Yeah, but much respect then to Safe, as he's decided he would rather win this one fair and square than see this game go easily over towards 1-3-3-7 or Elite. I need to stop with this syllables, as yeah, no wonder we're having a bit of a close game. We took us a long time, but yes, Safe taking the high round.
I'm quite impressed by that as well. It speaks volumes about the kind of person that he is as well. He's a top guy. Very easy to get along with them. The Danish bloke. Now Frod going to go for a plant here under smoke. To step aside there, as he did see a law shot coming straight on through, and now the containers is where the action is. Frod narrowly avoiding getting completely incinerated by that second rocket. He's going to push in. The GA team secures in the kill on towards Smashu as well now. It's a 4v2 right now. It's only Enter Q and Zarm up, and maybe Frod has bought himself enough space here to go for this plant. Enter Q's the last man standing on the side of Leet now, and what's he doing? Not much. Getting gunned down. Essentially almost a squad wipe there. It was a backspawn from Smashu, so for all intents and purposes, EGZ, easy plant.
Yeah, so bomb in and times can be taken away. They need to kind of regather their numbers. It would be foolish to try and make a push with their kind of current numbers, as it is 3-0. Looking to build up off the back of that.
Frod wants to move up here a little bit as the bomb is planted. He'd love to just bring those battle lines up a bit and have a look at this. Rella is coming up from behind. He's managed to get himself under cover of, I guess, this building here and behind enemy lines now. But what can he do from here as well? We've seen some players get there and just like that, fluff it. Have such a great position and not able to do anything with it at this stage. So tough times there is Zarm now. Go for the defuse, does get a nade going towards him. He might be able to get this one. He's got to get it now. If he dies, there's got to be an MCOM detonation. Can he do it, Zarm? On the defuse. And we are back to even Stevens right now. Somehow, Leet hanging on that one.
I do not know what EGZ were doing there. That was an easy hold. That was an easy early MCOM destruction, just kind of stating your claim to victory on this map. But no, great play from Zam. Gets away with it. And we are, once again, as you said, back to a lovely level playing field, but for how long? Look at this. 4 men just going for an all-out offensive. The entirety, all of their chickens most definitely are being counted before they hatch. Is that how you do it?
That's how you say it.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Now, Enter Q is actually pushing up here as well. So they know the spawn's coming in from the side as well. We did see 3 spawns out from here actually for the blue side. So EGC now in a position where they can still hold this quite nicely here. It's going to have to be a really, really strong push forward from Smashu if he's heading straight towards the south. We might actually hook around here and come from behind, especially if there's no further spawns coming in from EGZ. He can sort of flank around there. There is almost merit in not killing them at this stage if they want to gain that position, but it doesn't work out. Frod is there, and he's having a freaking massive game. 16 and 4 right now, the man. He's having a huge one.
Yeah, I mean, he always seems to be a fragging master. I think most times I see Frod is he's always filling in for someone. Oh, you need a mercenary. Frod is there. This time he's gone ahead and taken himself his own roster, and looks like he's doing a fantastic job.
Undoubtedly one of the best French players in the scene right now, and you can see there already, I'm trying to switch to people, they're getting gunned down. Melisium's just trying to do something from this position right now. He's forced behind there. He's actually going to be able to get the revive, so that is something. But look at this. Look at the setup here right now. 4 players, at least 3 are up here on that platform. David does go down. He'll get res quite quickly, though. Enter Q off to the sides. Great positioning here right now. If you look at this, they can just collapse right now. They're doing just that. EGZ getting completely gunned down. There's the wipe, and that should be the MCOM detonation.
It's going to be the start that they were looking for then, as Safe continuing to watch from the sidelines. They have really stuck to their guns with this decision that we are playing in a 4 vs 4 environment, and it is going to be the first MCOM destruction then. That's goodbye for EGZ. as they're going to have to... Oh, beautiful from David. Anticipating that spawn does manage to take Ronnie out of the running. And Leet have secured that early start they need. I say early start, we are just 2 minutes left in this first half of this first map. Intrigued to see if anything else can come of it.
NTQ set up here as well. You can see everyone pushing forward right now just to try and essentially keep EGZ inside their own spawn. It seems to be working out fairly well. They're waiting on that new bomb to come through, and NTQ getting a little bit aggressive there for just a moment here, but they're going to be able to back away. Look at where they are forced to play from here. This is really, really good transition from an MCOM detonation for Leet. The way they're set up here makes it very, very hard for EGZ to get back into the game. Very, very hard at least for them to do it quickly. But again, with Frod at the helm, there's not a heck of a lot that is impossible for these guys right now. The bomb's dropped. Smashu had it. That's a very long-range kill going over towards him there. And who's there to pick the bomb up? It's just NTQ. He's actually just him and David. And David spawning well and truly towards the top of the map, not opting to go in towards NTQ. So let's see what he can do from this position right now. Is he coming across from Penta? Still has the tag. One of their stronger players, especially towards the earlier part of last season. He's holding so well. I mean, if spawns can come in, there's no spawns coming in on him, so he's just going to keep himself there as a deterrent and as a distraction.
And it worked beautifully. Managed to keep 2 members of the four busy. So 50% of the enemy team is not going to be taking part in this offensive just yet. Rella's the one that's trying to breach straight on through. And who was that? That's going to be David. David throwing out nades, trying to keep them off that side. He's going to do a perfect job. Look at that. The bomb is nowhere near then. As getting eyes on, didn't get the spot, but just managed to get away with his life as... Continuing to see this one go to and fro, but with 30 seconds left, this very well could be the 1-0 first half that Leet were looking for. Yeah, probably not much time here for EGZ to do anything at all now as time ticks down under 20 seconds. Frod is just a machine, but it's not been enough so far. And it's disappointing as well because while, yes, sure, he has been fragging like a beast, there hasn't been a huge amount of highlighting from the rest of his team. I know that's his role in this case here, but, a little bit more from the rest of EGZ would have helped a lot. I mean, they're 35 for 30 purely off the back, honestly, purely off the back of Frod doing so much work there as well. More than half of his team kills in that half, and unfortunately still it's going to be 1-0 in this round over to Leet. Yeah, and I think you're making a fantastic point there about the
Rip. I hate that. There we go.
about the play of Frod, because the first point we were making when we were talking about the scoreboard beforehand was quality over quantity. Maybe Rella's 6 frags were crucial frags that meant there was a spawn kill, there was a spawn wipe, squad wipe is the word I'm looking for. It does mean, however, that Frod was just the most influential. Like, there's no denying that if you're getting 2-3 frags constantly, pretty much like throughout that game, you're going to be giving your team a foot up in the round because of the fact that they're going to be spawning back out of position. And so, I mean, nothing to show from it. That's going to be tough for EGZ, and they only had really 1 chance on a bomb. That's right, and bear in mind, it has been 4v4 as well with Safe sitting out on this one. So, things have been even in terms of the amount of players that we're seeing. Big respect, of course, to Safe for that one there. But now, 4v4 is, I guess, different. I mean, having 1 less person in your squad can make things that much more punishing as well. Squad wipes can occur easier, I suppose, in some cases. Pure speculation, of course, but the fact is now there's a bit of work to be done by EGZ here. They need to get those MCOM plant. Well, they need to get both in this half. If they want to win, of course. It's a good start, but as I said, we've spoken about it. We've seen comebacks as well from that 1 MCOM lead, or deficit, should I say. It's not insurmountable. It's not impossible to do, but EGZ have to pull up their socks, and it has to be more than just than Frod doing the work. Yeah, and I think, when it comes to that, you've got players like Melisium, Rella, all players that have been really, ever present in that kind of just above mid-tier teams that I think we kind of, or rather, as me and Jason dubbed it, the kind of top of the middle tier teams of Battlefield 4, of course, for the ESL One seasons. We've had plenty of seasons now to determine where kind of players lie and teams lie. Now, though, everything's been mixed up. Look at this mumble-jumble of teams and tags. It's all kind of mixed up, and it's intriguing to see where, once the dust settles, players and teams lie. Yeah, it is interesting as well, because you've got these players that have all been playing for so long, but playing with the same team for a long time has a huge impact on the way you perceive, play, act around the game. Like these guys as well. I'm personally fairly surprised to see the likes of Smashu team up with Safe and Zarm. I mean, you never would have thought that you'd sort of see them in the same team. I mean, outside of, we're not obviously... the two of us aren't, deep in the community stuff. We're not sort of always present on the forums and stuff like that. So maybe that's probably half the reason here. But they seem to work well together. At the end of the day, I think if you have good players and a good amount of time, I mean, you can still produce a strong team. Yep, 15 seconds then before we do jump on back into the action to see if EGZ in this 4 vs 4 environment can keep it interesting. It's going to be, of course, the very strong performance of Leet that we're going to have to try and match into the second half. This is, of course, the first map of 3. Best of 3 all the way, baby. Locker and Dawn will be our second and third maps if we need them.
Okay, so on the blue side, it is going to be Leet this time again with those 4 players. EGZ from the red coming from the north. We have said before that this bomb side here is easier to take than others. We saw it almost get taken away from Leet in that last round after a very a very nice defuse coming out from Zarm. So, I mean, again, this is I think Leet will be happy to get that plant down there and just try and hold things off for the rest of the half. 10-minute halves, of course, they are now. Law's being used a fair bit here. I mean, I think the only thing that really blow up is windows and that strange statue near the seaside. Ooh. That's a cheeky Law shot there from Rella, and he also gets the finish on Q.
Yeah, that's pretty nice there. It's going to be, you know, half of the team chopped down to size. It's something that I'm actually starting to realize as well. It's just how important that extra 5th man can be. You know, you get a double kill, all of a sudden, the team has been quite literally halved. That's insanity that we're going to be seeing unravel here as we are just 1 minute in, and we are first going to be seeing the boys in blue, Zam, trying to manipulate that bomb.
Safe now coming in, swapping out for Smashu in this one. Just trying to hold the street here as well. See the bomb is going to be dropped down. Sam just gets wrecked by a frag grenade. The light pole comes down on top of him here, but it's good work there by Safe. Does find Rella. Frod, last man standing right now, and, you know, yet to pick up a kill after his very, very strong performance in that last half. So let's see what he can do in this scenario here. He's able to just get back a little bit, be defensive now. As you can see, the bomb is going to be planted, and this is really, really dangerous. Now, look how deep this is. They're not bothering to see. The thing is that Frod was playing a sort of a lurking, flanking role, and he was the last man in this squad, and they all spawned on him, except one player in the north here. So it does allow for a fairly easy A plant, and now Leet can just sit on this.
Yeah, look at Zam. He's most definitely doing just that, and he's rocking the AEK, something that we have been seeing a little less of as of late. He's, of course, been a bit of an advocate for it, and Oka enter Q just playing the stairs beautifully. Does manage to get a revive just as he dies, and that's big plays then. 30 meters from the site, and he's just going to continue to rain down fire on towards Frod, who's just been doing desperate work, trying to find everything he can. 20 frags in the first half, and looks like he's not going to be doing the same thing again, as that's going to be Leet extending their lead. As you can hear the monkey siren sounding, and no one is within reach. And that's going to be the second then. Him come on the board for the 1337 boys.
Dominant performance for them early on in this one here. It's only 2.5 minutes in here, and they've already got that first MCOD detonation. And it was the far deeper one at the A side as well. Normally we see C contested like that. But now, down to Safe and Zarm. We can see they're just going to sit back on this one a little bit now, Leet. Take their time. And they always have that C site to go for. All they need is another squad wipe, you know, and they can just move their way on there and quite easily get a plant. It's hard as well to push out from that shopping complex when there is a C plant down, smokes, all that kind of stuff is going to be playing a factor in that one as well. So Safe trying to be a pivot here, just holding street now, but we can see Rella's pushed a long way forward actually with the bomb. Safe isn't in a position where he can get the flanking shot on towards him right now, so I think Rella's aware of this. I think he's aware that Safe is close by, but there's the kill. David is going to get him down. Bomb is going to be passed over to Leet, but now Frod has something to say about this one here as he is near that seaside, always playing quite far back as well with Melisium. Can he get the bomb out of the hands of David? That's the question. He's going low. He does get picked up by Safe.
Okay, now what's your building blocks here? As with just over half of the time left in the second half, we're going to be seeing David get the bomb down again. Good God, this could be it. This could very well be it for EGZ. As Leet looking to build off that initial plant that they got in the first half.
Now, throwing smoke after you plant the bomb is a little bit strange for me, because it does give the defending team a chance to get in there and sort of defuse it. But there's a lot of confidence, I think. Oh, Melisium draped over that ammo crate unceremoniously. I guess there's a lot of confidence for Leet now coming forward. Look at this. All you need to do, this is why the seaside is so easy to hit. You just push up, shove the enemy team right into the back quadrant of the map, and now Zarm can just hold position. He's got the height advantage as well. His opponents have to come up the stairway if they want to contest him here. It's a very, very powerful position. Yeah, and he's just demonstrating exactly why, as he does get another frag. Time is of the essence. It looks like the frags have done enough, and EGZ have fallen flat a whole lot quicker than we saw before, and Leet making it look easy. There it is. First map is going to go over towards lead there with a pretty commanding performance. I think there were 3 MComs over the course of that one in the first half and 2 very quickly in that second half. In fact, we barely got to halfway through that one here. So this game providing a stark contrast to our first one of the night, of course, which went all the way to those 3 games, plus an overtime at the end. This time, even with 4 players as well, I do want to point that out. Even with 4 players, Leeds still seem very confident, very comfortable in this position, and honestly, these are good players on the side of EGZ, but maybe it's just not enough.
I think that confidence was seen way back when Safe just said, "Okay, that's fine, play with 4." He was comfortable in his team, confident that they would be able to pick up the win with 4 or 5, and so decided to make the victory a little sweeter by playing on level terms.
Well, yeah, I would have been very surprised. I would have been a little bit surprised, I think, if Safe had gone for the 5v4. I guess I'm just not surprised that he's done this. He's not the kind of guy to do that as well. They're all quite fair. I mean, we know most of the guys on that elite lineup as well. We've seen him at LAN. We've seen him play. Big advocates, of course, of fair play in that sense as well. So
absolutely.
Not at all surprised to see that. We do have a really good community, actually. A lot of the pro players here in Battlefield are just an absolute delight to work with. But now we're going to be moving on to Operation Locker. Now, if there's any map that reminds me of a pendulum, it is this one. So much back and forth play on this map as well. The way that the middle especially is always so hotly contested on multiple levels, mind you, as well. There is the top and bottom level. We also have seen teams actually, you can damage this area to such a degree that you can just jump down quite easily as well. So it almost, and you can, it makes the rubble so that you can actually climb up the rubble onto the upper level. So it's quite interesting.
Kind of forge a ramp almost.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so you get, Levolution can be taken to various levels then, it seems, and this one's going to be no exception. Operation Locker, a map that always excites us with these kind of crazy runs, just as you said with the pendulum. You make a mistake, you overstep just a little, and you can find yourself having to run halfway across the map just to get back to your spawn. This is actually one of the maps where I raised that question with you. I'm pretty sure it was with you, where when a team are in a position where they basically have to run back to their own spawn, does it in any way favor them to just jump off the edge? I honestly, I feel like that we haven't seen that happen once, but I feel like that could be justified in varying scenarios.
Possibly.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen that from some teams who want to reset the bomb. Actually, they'll actually take it out.
They take the bomb off.
Map.
Okay.
Yep. Who, perhaps it's just too hard for them to get on inside from the outside part of the map or what have you. So that is something we do see. I don't know though. I've never seen someone commit suicide for
for the spawn.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's balance issues there, or
I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see though, how these two teams have interpreted it. 1v7, of course, or Lead. How the team that have got a lot of innovators there. David, always, the mind behind Epsilon, as it's been described. Safe as well, is someone who was really pulling strings at Epsilon as well. Throw on top of that, you've got Smashy, this kind of MYM man who's always been pretty damn deadly when it comes to fragging. He's been given a little bit of a looser leash, and I'm really excited to see how this team does develop.
Well, we're going to be jumping into this one now, and Leaked already, riding the momentum, of course, from that first map, which they took out in stunning and rather quick style. It's now time to see what they can do for us here on Operation Locker. Conversely, EGZ trying to hang on. Top fragger for them was Frod all the way through. They played really, really well, but unfortunately, they just lacked that ability to go for those objectives, and that's really what matters in this one. I mean, the fact that EGZ were getting wrecked in that first half, it actually had more kills. They had a higher amount of kills than Leak did, but as we said, it doesn't always translate into objectives.
Yeah, and that's something that you got to kind of love about Battlefield is you can shoot everyone as much as you want, you can have the best aim in the world, but if you weren't working as a unit, working as a team, playing the objective alongside that, then there is no success to be found.
I always love this little standoff. It happens outside always. One team sends one player each over there and just to see if they can win. And honestly, it's not really the biggest deal. I mean, if you can get the kill here, then you can do exactly what's just happened. You push one inside, take control of this area, and then push all around the outside with the other players. So the bomb is in the hands of Safety, who's actually already going out of plant. So they've just completely pulled the wool over the eyes of EGZ right now, and the plant is it's done.
Let's see if they can complete the sweater then, as we are going to be seeing Melicium just get the one. Not going to be finding it too much more. Ronnie actually does get the second. It's going to be a good start, but Safe and Smashu are players who are most definitely competent in holding this one steady. Melicium goes down, that's big. Safe going to be pushed around the corner. He just walks straight into his crosshair. Ronnie does slip on that banana peel laid out then by Safe, and that's going to be the frags coming in, but Dave just in the nick of time. Did manage to get the spawn in, I think. Nope, he's out of the question. Oh, he's absolutely out of the question. I thought he may have spawned in on safe, and that is going to be the defuse then for EGZ. Keeping EGZ on their toes, though, as they do bring that defuse home and not pick up the bomb. Hang on a second. They've defused it, but then they've just continued to push up without the bomb.
They might try and leave it back there, wait for it to respawn in the middle of the map. So if they push up here,
like
and they can hold position
dominance
here, it'll reset around here, and they can go back and grab it. So, because this is the hardest roadblock to pass in the map. This part here and this part here, to try and get past there, it's a choke point. It's pure and simple. That's all it is. So, it can be very, very hard for some teams to navigate. Have a look at this. Safe and NTQ were the last two there. If it was just safe at one point, is the EGZ on that surge forward. They've definitely been able to make up some ground. There's the respawn of the bomb. So Rella doesn't have to go back nearly as far, and they've already pushed forward.
Yeah, David finding Fraud outside. That's actually a really important frag because he was trying to hold up 1 versus 2. And now, with him crumbling, he knows that the backs are going to be vulnerable. David's the one to challenge. Oh, that's big. Malicium holding the back. He is going to be invulnerable, though, from that front. And it comes down to where they want to go with this bomb. They have had this early aggression, but it doesn't look like it's going to be punished by Zam and the boys as Leet.
This could backfire.
Yeah, they're finding their footing.
This could backfire now. You can see that Zam's going to be able to push forward. He will eventually meet some resistance in the form of Ronnie here, but he's the last man in his squad right now, and he cannot go too far. He's got to be careful about this one. Back spawns here for the US side could be absolutely devastating, and it is possible as well to trap people in them. We have seen it before, actually, on the domination game mode here. So, pushing up here, Zam with the bomb. So they've passed this first checkpoint, right? They've managed to get past that first roadblock.
Off the list.
Now they've got to make their way through the next one as well. Run the gauntlet through those metal detectors and get those kills. And NTQ does pick up Rella there. You can see Zam was looking for one as well. The frag grenade does go up in front of him. They're going to push onto this one. Safe right at the front, living up to his little nickname at the moment. But he will drop down, soon to be revived though. And again, relentlessly, you can see the push forward from Lee.
There's the smoke, though. That's the last one of Zam. He came to the battlefield with 3. Now just 1 remains. He's going to try and get through. It doesn't block bullets, though. Just the eye line of Malicium didn't stop him. As, again, it is going to be a 3 versus 3. I see that Smashu has opted to not participate in this one as well, guys. So we are calling about safe playing. That's because Smashu is the one to continue to let this play out as a 4v4.
NTQ goes down now. Looks like EGZ finding some footing, should I say, at least here now, as the revives are being forced out of Zam here, just trying to keep his team in this one now. They've managed to... This is really important for them. They've managed to take such an important part of the map. They've gotten through that choke point. Yeah, there are more to come, but they would love to be able to camp on this one and just whittle away at EGZ as they continue to try and come forward. You can see David's gone on the underside here, and again... We see Zam go down as Malicium holds well for the metal detectors. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it gives them access to so many different routes as well. You can see that EGZ are desperate to try and take some of that control away from them, but Safe has other plans. 2 with the AEK. David follows shortly
1v1.
Onto Ronnie, and now we have a 1v1. And look who's going to thrive, Rella. He needed to pick up that frag, and he most definitely does. And he's on a bomb-charging mission. He realizes the numbers weren't stacked up against him, and now he's just going to have the squad spawn in on him, and then he's going to bomb straight on towards A.
Look how much ground you can gain right now as your Rella. Look how far in they can push. They're already directly contesting the A site. They're all around it, of course. That's the one that's sort of downstairs in the pit or below the stairwell here. So if they can sort of make their way out here, look at Frod. He's trying to go for the flank. He's trying to get around here and pick off Leet as they try and set up to contest this one here. Look at him just moving around there. He will be heard if he gets too close here, but for the most part, from behind, some shots coming in now. Frod isn't even going to turn around and challenge that one now, as it's all about Leet around that bomb. Frod is the last man standing, and there's a full wipe coming out. And the bomb, well, as the pendulum swings, head back to the right side of the map.
Time becoming a problem, though. 4 minutes 40. We're way past the halfway point now, and it's going to come down. Hang on a second. Where are they? They are miles away. Oh, that's beautiful. Zam is going to be able to get that bomb down just in the nick of time. It's going to come down to their setup, though. Where do they choose to position themselves off this post plan?
That was very, very fast, and that they knew as well. You could see that Lead understood a squad wipe would equal getting that bomb down. It is a long walk back here. So now you can see EGZ trying to get positioned. Rella, though, almost going to get bested by the bars in front of him. And Ronnie's the last man in the squad on your screen right now. He has it all to do. He must either hold on, wait for his team, or get some kills, take some lives away from Lead. But he's just going to sit tight now, and that's not good. The clock is just bleeding down further right now. Ronnie, with only 1 kill to his name, has to do more, and it seems like it's not possible right now.
Yeah, Zam's just going to help basically babysit the bomb, keep himself on that until the very end. This is the bitter end, it seems, as it's going to be another step in the right direction for Leet, as he's going to be backing away. Another squad wipe for EGZ, And it does look like they're going to have a bit of a struggle to participate in this game.
And again, this is what they did in the last map, of course, on Siege of Shanghai. They will continue to keep residents here. Push right up as well. But NTQ just going to be around the corner as well. And we'll go to David as well, because he is just in the little corner here. Now, if you're EGZ, you have to expect this. You have to expect there to be some remnants of the force from lead here. But so far, they're not really checking all their corners. NTQ was able to get one there. Ronnie will be able to take him down. But here's David. He's right up behind him here. But he's got to be careful, because now Zam was the last man in squad. For a moment, he goes down. And this is interesting now. David, last man, this could be a squad wipe here. Smash is going to... Safe is going to spawn in. And it is very chaotic stuff here.
Yeah, it is just back and forth, to and fro, exactly as you kind of described it. The battlefield, or rather the Operation Locker pendulum, does swing back and forth rather violently, as it's going to be Frod then, who's not necessarily being the fragger he once was over on the Siege of Shanghai's first half. 20 for 3, need I remind you. And he's just trying to get that bomb down as fast as he possibly can. I say get the bomb down, rather just get it as close as he can towards that site, wait for the squad to spawn in on him, and they're almost kind of hoping and hedging their bets that they will die to some degree in order to get them spawns up, cover some ground without having to go through David. It's David who's causing problems as Rella does go down.
David seems more like Goliath right now, as he's managed to shake out the rest of EGZ from that part of the map. He's going to make his way over towards where the bomb is. You can see Frod again drops down now. Bomb is in the hands of Leet, and they've managed to take that away. Ronnie is just going to have to backtrack a little bit, get his back pedal on, but at least try and keep Leet in their own half of the map. He doesn't want to lose the ground that they gained earlier with that the push in with the bomb. Rella also, with the same thing in mind, will get taken down by Safe.
Yeah, it's going to be looking a little too sour for them at this point. Just under 2 minutes now, as it's going to be another one for Frod. He does manage to take Safe out of the equation. It's a 2v2, but the bomb's loose. This is important, and Melisium is going to be making sure that importance is known. Frod, then, is all left to his own devices. He's the only one that hasn't spawned way back, but that's a big frag. Catches one, surely not a second. Oh my god, he does! This could be a third with the... Oh, that's beautiful,
my god.
Frod! We said he's a fragging machine. He demonstrates exactly why. Frod is God.
Not too shabby there. Zam will eventually shut him down, and David's going to be running the bomb the outside. Me and Alex put our hands on our heads at the exact same time. The big old lean back in the seat reaction. But let's see what David can do now. He's going to be making his way in from the outside. Now, Melisium can see this, of course. He can see the bomb indicator on the map, but no one's coming to him right now. So he's going to have to sort of hedge his bets on getting the flank shots. He doesn't connect them. That's really important. He's giving away his position right now. This could be so dangerous for him. He does drop down. David right on top of him there, just like Batman, is going to make his way through now. It's a dark tunnel. And Frod will be able to get the kill on towards David, but NTQ isn't too far away as well. He can see the bomb. He's going to be smoking this one out. Try to make his way in and at least secure that one. Double frags also coming out from EGZs. They are clawing to hold on to this one.
I think this is going to be a real tough one right down to the wire. 40 seconds, and EGZ are just desperately trying to keep Leet under wraps, and it's not looking too likely at this point. 30 seconds. That bomb is so close. Like, look at that. EGZ are under so much threat, and Rella knows it, as he's going to try and run that bomb as far away from any sort of threat as possible. Looks like we're going to be ending the first half with the 1-0. Of course, courtesy of Zam, who got that bomb down. Felt like a year ago, but it was, of course, just around that 6-minute mark.
Absolutely. It wasn't, it was very quick for them as well. And that was just off the back of a squad wipe. As simple as that as well. And we've seen teams struggle to do that in the past on this map. Sometimes a squad wipe just means, okay, we can now reset and push up a little bit. But no, like you can see that the killer instinct is there for Leet. They went straight for it. They knew they had the time. The timing was perfect as well. Zam got in, planted, got out before anyone from EGZ was on there. 1-0 to kick things off here in our first half of Operation Locker.
Now, where are the building blocks off the back of that one? Because I'm looking at EGZ and I'm just thinking, I think they, well, first of all, you need to start with 5. I also think that so far, they haven't necessarily been poor individually. I think every time we've seen Rella, he's been hitting crazy shots, crazy nades. He's generally being a real viable player. Melisium, we saw him miss a couple of shots. Frod had his moments as well. But they're all sitting around the same numbers. Like, these guys are all most definitely competent. I do, however, feel like, talking of teams, and there's no iron team, as many individuals as there may be, I do think that Leet already have quite a handful of chemistry.
I'm telling you, like, Frod had a massive play there with that quick 3-piece. That was absolutely beautiful. Very well, I mean, a little bit lucky with the sprayer for that second kill there, but his transition into the third was really nice. But I mean, here, it definitely wasn't a high flyer in terms of kills, and this is more of an example of those kills being shared around a little bit more on EGZ, but it just seems to be those mistakes pushing forward that cost them, really. That's what it was here. They come forward, they pass those checkpoints, those roadblocks, they get into the territory of Leet, and then they cut down in an instant. The bomb is planted and they're scrabbling to try and sort of recover from that situation. So maybe contingencies aren't a bad thing here. Maybe they're, again, putting too many of their eggs in that one basket and perhaps should be playing a little bit more cautiously. It's hard to really diagnose, to be honest, because generally speaking, like it's fairly even Stevens the way that they're playing. It was only the one MCOM detonation, and that was, again, off the back of squad-wise, which happened to the best of teams. I don't know. I don't know what the building blocks are here. I'm the kind of guy that tries to put the square block into the round hole, so I wouldn't be the one being asked about that.
Absolutely. Just casting our mind to other games, and other games in this very much the kickoff cup of the ESL One Battlefield 4 winter season. We have seen Fnatic thrive over Broken Youth and Revo Esports. They're now lying in wait in the semi-finals as they are awaiting the winner of this very game of Evolution Gamers, of course, up against Leet, as we are currently in our second map for that one. Elsewhere in the bracket, the lower half of the bracket, we've seen Penta, Best, Relapse and Leisure to be sitting in the semi-final up against their opponent Epsilon, who destroyed MNG and Natus Fungus, one of the newer names with the Russian flag flying for them. So looking forward to seeing the victor of Penta Epsilon potentially in the semi-final alongside the winner of this up against Fnatic.
I actually would give Penta a good chance at that one. I think that'd be an excellent game. I mean, yeah, look, it's fairly expected. We're seeing our sort of standard top 4 teams now, sort of battling it out. So it's always exciting when we get to that sort of semi-final and we're seeing, those proven teams just really bringing out the big guns to try and, I guess, get the rubber over each other. So let's see now, is EGZ going to try and hold on this one as well. Bear in mind, it's already one MCOM detonation over to Leet, so they have the lead here. And this is going very similar to the way that last map did. They got one MCOM in the first half, and then they just closed it out with 2 in the second.
Let's see if they can kind of follow suit then. As to start things off, we're going to be seeing David draw first blood, and immediately a nade from Elysium is the one to take Smashu back out. Looks like they've mixed it up again. It's going to be, who is it that's sitting on the sidelines? Zam is the one to step down then for the 4v4. If you have just joined us and wondering what on earth is going on, we do see a player from EGZ disconnect, unfortunately, and out of true honor and of true kind of sportsmanship, we are seeing the boys from Leet accept that and play with 4 themselves.
That's right, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't seem to be handicapping them much at all. So we already have a plant down, and NTQ just pushing so far forward right now. Melisium is the last player for EGZ, and he goes down, and that's a squad wipe here. And it's a long walk back as well for EGZ to even try and contest this. That is a bit cheeky, by the way. NTQ, they're just, I will say marking his territory, but I think you know what I mean there. This should be an easy detonation, I think, and that's just a crazy start here. Again, in the same way that things started off in our first map on Siege.
This is the sign of things to come potentially for EGZ. They most definitely do not want to see this one disappear, but it looks like it's a guarantee. Smashu's celebrating, jumping around in the hallways as he knows that this is exactly how he wanted to start this one. Gets himself 2 frags early, bomb goes down, and that's going to be a very, very stacked up first, or rather second half now for the boys in EGZ.
Spawn's coming in now all the way from over here, so David, currently the only man in his squad. Obviously, it seems like they were just hoping just to really pacify EGZ further in their own half of the map. We do see Smashu actually jumping back in now, Azam out. Bomb, of course, spawning in the middle, as it always tends to do. And I'd love to go there if I wasn't terrible at camera work here. You can see it, this is where the fight's happening as well. Lots of back and forth here as well. The bomb is not often really we see teams contest this so ferociously. But there it is though, and it seems as if that Leet have come out on top. But the bomb is in hands of Melisium right now, and he has a good vantage point. Half of those shorter range sort of SMG style guns to really gain purchase on him there. So he can set up there, he can send Front in towards that middle the watchtower that Valley Tarja, for example, loves to sit in for a large piece of the round and just be that pivot. So here's that secondary wave coming out now from Leet.
Okay, where are you going to be taking this one? Zam and Safe are forced to watch for a while, but I don't think there's going to be a particular immediate step taken by EGZ. They have hit the slowdown button. They want to try and make sure they don't put a foot wrong, because you know how difficult this choke point has been. You've been the real advocate for just how oh my god, how much you want to prioritize pushing through. But look at that, a double from NTQ, a triple. Good god, he's on an absolute rampage. The bomb is going to be hunted down as well. He gets himself a 4th, as that is going to be a fantastic start from NTQ. 8-3 currently for him. He just doubled his score in a short short burst of frags, and now the turnaround is on.
I went away from him because he's got 2 kills. He's probably going to back away, and no. He single-handedly gets the squad wipe on EGZ, and now Lead are pushing forward, and they have managed to gain purchase inside the territory of EGZ. You can see Ronnie now just sort of backtracking a little bit here, and off to the side, it is Rella just waiting. They just kind of have to camp this one out, but Frod, they have unleashed him yet again, and he's able to get some kills as well. It's just safe, last man standing right now, and he has to be careful. It's kind of a done if you do, done if you don't scenario. He doesn't know if he can go back or forward, but NTQ is still up, so is Smashu, and there's the squad wipe in response, and EGZ managed to stabilize after getting completely obliterated.
Let's not forget, 1 extra MCOM destruction, and we are going to be saying the waving goodbye, perhaps, to EGZ, as they have a little bit of time to work with, a little bit of time to get some redeeming features on the board, and most definitely one of them would be an MCOM destruction. Charging forward, though, he knows the spawns are going to be favouring them this time. They have time to get past that choke point, but immediately Enter Q makes things difficult. Throwing out an incendiary and actually pushing through it himself. You can see he's already looking to have the drop on them. And I do feel like EGZ have got good steps forward here. 2 early frags. Enter Q and Smash are the only ones remaining. I don't know why the bomb's not going down. It is. And this is their chance. This is their chance to try and bring things back.
This is not too bad at all, if actually... I mean, they've got to hold on now. This is the thing. There's a lot more required to get this detonation than just to plant it. And then Malisium's going to make his way up, just to try and back up for a little bit. But he's going to get gunned down. Smash You is there, and he is doing just Smash You things right now. Frod is able to still, dash him aside, but there it is. Safe. Was a last-minute squad. NTQ's going to get the respawn in. But look at that. There's no one now for League to stop this, and there should be an MCOM detonation coming up for EGZ, and not a moment too soon. 5 minutes left in the round.
So they need to pick up the second MCOM. They need to pick it up fast. They need to try and make sure that there's no more fragging coming out from the man EnterQ, who's been really prominent so far in this second half, rather, of Operation Locker. And there it goes. So, what have you got for us, EGD? What have you got for us, Frod, as he's managed to climb back up to the top of the scoreboard? And with 4 minutes left, it's not an awful lot of time to try and get that squad wipe and also get that bomb under your control.
Again, it's not the end of the world by any means for Lead right now. They already have 2 MCOM detonations, so they're feeling quite comfortable right now. They just sort of need to hold on. Maybe they got a little bit ahead of themselves and, kind of gave that away a little bit. To be fair, it was great work pushing through by EGZ. The bomb is in David's hands, though, and he's taking it outside on a bit of a trip here. Let's see how they want to make this one work. Are they going to push in? Brilliant camera work, Mitch.
He's on an expedition. He is. He's got his Arctic goggles on, and he's just going to be... Oh, hang on. I think I was going to say challenge, but I think he's taking the warmer approach. Or not, as he does continue on his little adventure.
He might just want to hold this for a while and just see what he can do with it. He's not up in his base, but he's surrounded as one on either side. What can he do in this position? Not a whole lot there. Zorella will take him out. But look at the defensive setup here as well. As this Safe was caught in a duel there, he will go down. But there's 2 players for the outside right now. But is Smashy going to be ready to receive this one? Enter Q, though, on towards Frod. Does leave Rella on his own and not in a position to really push forward at this time.
I mean, you need to be putting yourself in a position when there's so little time for you to move. That's big. Again, another frag comes in. The bomb is loose. EGZ are going to be able to recover that, but still, down to the 3rd minute.
Safe just trying to prevent any potential flank here. There's a player directly underneath him who's going to be, I believe, making his way up those stairs at the moment to try and contest.
Oh, he knows it as well.
Yep, he does. Shots coming through now. Safe to make his way down. He might have been tipped off to that. I think it was spotted there, so he'll try and push that one. Malisium does go down, and a spray of bullets, and Frod now top fragger by far for EGZ on his own on the outside. Let's see if he can make his way through. He does have some teammates there. It's a 2v3 situation. Rella is not too far away. Malisium should be spawning on the outside of the map. He knows what's good for him. And Frod is just trying to make his way up here as well, taking a fair bit of damage as he does push. I don't know if he's really aware of where the elite player is right now that's firing at him. No, he doesn't know. He's going to try and get to the lower ground and get some protection, wait for his team.
I think, yeah, his teammates should just get the spot. That was a real necessary spot as well, because they realised there's a player right on that mountainside. Isn't going to connect the shots he needed to, though. Ronnie, you needed to find that frag, because now they've kind of put all their eggs into one basket. They need to try and push off, and Smash Shoot is creeping and crawling around from behind.
I didn't even know you could
I didn't know you could do that either. I thought he was diving to his death.
I don't think he intended to, personally. Oh, no, you're screwed.
Oh, no! I think he jumped off to kill himself, but yeah, there we go. Oh,
I don't think he did. I honestly don't think he tried to kill himself. I think he thought he could use that to
go
flank.
around or something.
Don't know.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. Either way, it didn't quite work out for them. The bomb is lost,
and that's really, really bad news for EGZ. They need. Sorry. They need all the time they can. And the bomb now spawning back in towards the middle is going to sort of set things back to neutral mode. And Rella has managed to pick that one up early. Ronnie not far behind him as well. So these two hoping to push together. Oh, this is not half bad. I'll give you that one. There's only one player left, and that's safe. David 2K is going to be spawning in on this one, but will he be close enough to stop it? They have to go for C, though. That's the thing. That A bomb site is not available. And if David can get the sneak around from the side, he will be able to shut this one down, or smash you it is.
You can hear it. Smash you need to get this frag. No, the bomb goes down. That's not great. He's going to be able to catch him on the way back, though. It was going to be 2 frags then in a quick succession, all onto Frod, as their 5th has finally joined the server. Welcome, Flash. Little too late, mate, as this is it. This is the end. And we have most definitely determined that it's not looking likely for EGZ. They needed to destroy that MCOM. That was their chance, and Smashu smashed it.
Absolutely. Got the defuse there as well. They were the right players in the right places for Elite in that game. This is hard to hit. This really is, because you're really open to the outside. If anyone's making the spawn in,
spawn there. Yeah.
Well, you spawn back here as well, so you can just walk up. It's tough to hit, but so is that B1 as well. So you can't really blame him for his selection of bomb sites here. But the bomb, as we speak of it, is in Smashu's hands after he did defuse that one. He will hold this as well. There's no reason for him to really get lost in a flight of fancy right now. He'll just try and push as far as he can with it and hold on, and that should secure the win here, and it will secure the win, in fact, for Elite.
And that most definitely is what they were looking for. Advancing to the semi-finals, where they're going to be tested one better, I think it's safe to say, by hopefully 5 members of Fnatic. It's going to be a spectacle. We've almost followed this entire Elite story throughout the entire evening, and I think we will be intriguing, keeping our eyes locked on that score as well as that game does unfold.
That's right. So we're going to have Fnatic versus Elite in the semi-finals, and all these players, well, it's safe to say, Alex, that they know exactly what to expect going up against Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be a real corker. I mean, both of these games, I honestly don't know which semi-final I want. Like, these are both going to be great games.
Really good.
Penta Epsilon, as I did highlight just in that half-time period. Epsilon having 0 real issues with Nasus Fungus and MNG. A little bit more difficult for Penta. Of course, they went up against Leisure, a team who have kind of sat a little bit lower down, but in that mid-tier team.
We did see them at Gamescom.
Yeah, and they were a team that, you know, that you. I felt like I almost put them in like early PKD territory, where there's just this German side who just does damage, a little bit maybe disorganized, but either way, they beat them, and they're going to be waiting in the semi-final as well.
Well, we're looking forward to that one, but ladies and gentlemen, for now, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we return, we'll be coming in with our semi-final matches. Don't go too far. We're back real soon.
I'm Kino.
I'll see you soon.
See ya.